Hi everyone, myself Krishna Kumar Hegde, and I'm going to talk about 2019 Indian election statistics. So this was the first time when I voted in any type of elections. That is the reason I chose the data set. And while looking for data sets, I found different data sets, but I found this one to be really interesting. And I chose this data set from Kaggle, and these are the attributes I have in my data set that I have used for visualization. And coming to dashboard elements, I have used choropleth map, I have used donut chart, I have used parallel coordinates plots, scatter plot, and bar charts that I'm going to show now. Coming to dashboard, on the top left, we can see that choropleth map of India. Here, each state is colored based on the number of constituencies it has. For example, Uttar Pradesh has around 80 constituencies and Bihar has around 40 constituencies. These are indicated in bright red color. Compared to Rajasthan, even though it's geographically big, it has less number of constituencies because of the population. So the coloring is important to indicate number of constituencies. Even the bigger states can have less number of constituencies compared to smaller states which can have more number of constituencies. The second plot is a bar plot between win counts and political parties. Uh, from this chart, we can understand how different parties have uh, performed in 2019 election. So BJP, which is the current ruling party in India, has won around 300 seats. Uh, the next biggest party is Indian National Congress, which has 52 states. And similarly, we can see the different parties that have won a major number of seats in this election. Coming to third plot is a donut chart. Donut chart can be bad if there are more number of slices, and visualization can become uh, tricky. But here I have used it for education attribute, which has limited number of values, and it's really visually appealing to see education in donut chart. One interesting observation that I made here is number of postgraduate contestants is 25% and number of graduate contestants is 22%, and collectively they add up to around 47 percentage of all the candidates. This is really fascinating because more educated people are participating in election, which is good for any democracy. And the fourth plot is parallel coordinates plot. Parallel coordinates plot is beautiful because we can analyze the data points, we can compare the data points uh, simultaneously with comparing attributes of the data. So here I have colored the data points according to uh, win or lose in the election. You can select the candidates who have won in the election, and you can also select the candidates who have lost in the election, and you can see their different attributes and how they are varying with each other. Here, one observation that I made is comparing winner with assets. So general false notion we have is uh, candidates with more assets can win election easily compared to candidates with less assets. But if you compare this chart for specific subset, let's say somewhere around here, uh, you can see that winner and assets they don't have a really positive correlation. Rather, they have some sort of negative correlation, which indicates that people with more assets may not always win, which is not true always. That's what I'm trying to say. And coming to the last plot is radar chart. Radar chart can be tricky when there are a lot of data points and they can overlap on one another. It can be really tricky to visualize them. But what I have done is I have grouped the data based on their gender, female and male, and these axes represent the age groups: 25 to 34 age group, 35 to 44 age group, and the lines of hexagon represent assets. So here we can see that the candidates who are below 55 have less assets compared to candidates above 55. This is true for both males and female candidates, which is kind of self-explanatory. When you are young, you may not earn much, and as you get older, you may earn more with experience, and that is true for even candidates participating in elections. Now, coming back to choropleth map, we can select any particular state and visualize all these attributes, all these plots for that specific state. Now, let's say I click on Uttar Pradesh, the biggest state, and all the data now has changed according to Uttar Pradesh. You can see that BJP has 160 states in Uttar Pradesh, and education of candidates in Uttar Pradesh, and parallel coordinates plot and radar chart. And if I choose, let's say, Bengal, we can see that AITC is the biggest party here, not BJP. um, and we can see all other factors as well. And if I choose, uh, let's say, Punjab, where Indian National Congress is the biggest party, but if you choose some other big states like Maharashtra or Rajasthan, where BJP is the biggest party, so even though in few states other parties have won, BJP has won majority of seats in majority of states. That's why BJP won the election uh, uh, overall. Coming back to the first view, we can change the view using this button. When I click on the constituency view, now India map is colored based on constituency and based on voter turnout in that specific constituency. Some of the northern states have less voter turnout compared to southern states, which has brighter color, and legend is self-explanatory. If I choose specific constituency, it will plot few other graphs. So the first one is votes received by a candidate bar chart. So this is bit different to compare to a previous bar chart. Here we can see the number of votes received by each candidate in that specific constituency, and education map or the donut chart represent the education of candidates in this specific constituency. Parallel coordinates plots represents candidates in this specific constituency, and the last one is uh, scatter plot rather than radar chart, because radar chart can be tricky with multiple data points, whereas scatter plots is better in this situation. We can I have plotted this graph for criminal cases versus age, uh, with clustering them based on winning or losing. So here we can see that here we can also zoom in specific area to find out the particular age and particular criminal case. And this is the uh, other view I had, and we can select different constituencies and see how attributes are changing. All right, that's all for this demo. Thanks for watching.